Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Mandy, and here on this show, every week we interview some awesome people from around the country to bring you lifestyle tips, tricks, and more. And this week we have this.
I'm noticing a shift in people's mindsets. Before it was all about restriction and diets.
We think it, they do it before we even say it.
All that and more on New Mexico Rising.
Holiday season means travel, big meals, and family time, but it can also mean a lot of stress and germs along the way. From long flights to sleepless nights, staying healthy this time of year takes a little extra planning. Joining us with simple ways to keep our holidays healthy and happy is Dr. David Fairchild, Chief Medical Officer at CVS Health. Welcome, Dr. Fairchild.
Thanks for having me on, Abby.
With so many people traveling for the holidays, what are your top tips for staying safe and healthy on the road or in there?
Well, probably my top tip is plan ahead. Nobody anticipates that they're going to get sick, but we all know that that happens. So one of the things that you can do is make sure that if you've got prescription medicines, that you've got enough pills to get you through the trip. Get your refills done before you leave. That makes it much easier. The other thing you can do ahead of time is get vaccines that make sense for you. So the flu vaccine is still available. It's not too late to get a flu vaccine this fall. And then the COVID vaccine is available as well. And we know that both flu and the COVID virus are still circulating. I got both of mine a few weeks ago. And then one of the other things that I do that I find very helpful is I have a travel kit. Whenever I travel, I have lots of over-the-counter medicines that are very helpful when somebody gets sick in the family. I've got a medicine typically in my travel kit that can help with the fever or the diarrhea or whatever's coming up. The last point is that for people who have chronic medical conditions that may be complicated, checking with their doctor is always a good idea to make sure that they're cleared to travel.
And between the parties and late nights and cold weather, what can we do to keep our immune system strong this season?
Well, we mentioned the vaccines, so that's helpful. And we all learned during the pandemic how important hand hygiene was. So that's really important during the holidays when you're seeing lots of people. And keeping cough and sneeze etiquette, that's important so you're not spreading germs around. But probably some of the less appreciated things to do are making sure you're getting enough sleep. We all know that sleep is very important to our health, and so is balanced nutrition. Making sure that you're eating a balanced diet even during the holidays when there's lots of good food, rich food around. You know, I'll admit I'm the first one to take a serving of apple pie and ice cream, but making sure we're getting fruits and vegetables in is also important. And staying active, getting exercise, whether it's a walk or a jog or something like that, it's a great way to reduce stress.
And sometimes illnesses strike even when you plan ahead. What is the best way to find quick, reliable care, even if you're away from home?
Well, it's so true. Often when we get sick, it's at an inconvenient time. Luckily, MinuteClinics, the clinics that are inside some CVS Health store locations, we're open 7 days a week. We've got evening hours during the weekday, and we've got weekend hours, Saturday and Sunday. So 7 days a week, we're available. We also have virtual visits that are available in all 50 states, and you can access these by the CVS Health app and schedule a visit or just walk in and go to a visit. So it makes it pretty convenient, both in location and the days a week that we're available to get help when you need it.
And the holidays can also bring stress. What advice do you have for taking care of our mental and emotional health during this busy time?
Well, it's so true. It can be a stressful time for folks. Keeping up with your a good diet and with your sleep, getting some exercise, moving your body, those are important things. If somebody is feeling really sad and needs somebody to talk to, MinuteClinic has mental health services that are available virtually in 49 states for people that are age 13 or older. So whether it's a physical ailment or a mental health issue and you need somebody to talk to, we've got counselors who are available virtually, or in some locations you can actually walk in and see a counselor face to face. But I also find that loneliness can be a factor during the holidays as well, and planning ahead so that perhaps joining a community group or a church group can be a great way to interact with other people. My wife and I, we often will volunteer on Thanksgiving because our kids are not with us on that day. We find volunteering a great way to connect with the community and be a part of something bigger on a day that otherwise we'd be by ourselves.
And finally, where can viewers go to learn more about these health tips and find nearby healthcare?
People can go to MinuteClinic.com or they can download the CVS Health app. The app is a great way to a great thing to have on your phone, so that when you need it, you've got access to it. You can schedule appointments for mental health issues or for physical health issues, either virtually or in person.
Dr. Fairchild, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on, Abby.
Ever stress over pulling off that perfect holiday meal? No, you're not alone. Between cooking, cleaning, and keeping everyone fed and happy, that's a lot. Chef Tregaye, winner of Food Network star and host of Tregaye's Way on OWN, is here to help with fun, flavorful hacks to make entertaining easy this season with no meltdown required. Welcome to the show, Chef Tregaye. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Okay, we all want to enjoy the holidays, not just survive them. What's your secret for hosting without all that stress?
Absolutely. You know what? Whether I'm hosting for my family or my friends or doing something at my restaurant or catering, I'm always going to start with the plan, right? You know, a theme, a menu, a to-do list. But the real key is to prepare ahead of time and keep it simple so you can enjoy your guests. Hosting should feel good and not like a second job.
So is there a dish or like a menu item that people tend to overlook when planning their holiday spread?
Absolutely. You know what? Italian dishes are a super crowd pleaser, and contadina is ripe for the moment. All right. They have been bringing authentic Italian flavored dishes since 1918. And with this full suite of premium tomato products, from whole and crushed tomatoes to tomato paste and puree and sauce, you can really elevate everyday meals into flavorful, memorable moments. You can visit the Contadina website for inspiration and recipes like this delicious skillet beef lasagna and eggplant parmesan dishes you see here.
I'm always looking for that like one trick or like ingredient that can instantly elevate a classic holiday dish. Do you have anything?
Absolutely. Listen, I feel like there's no holiday dish and no holiday menu, honestly, that's not complete without Bush's baked beans. Like, oh wow, no holiday is complete. They're slow cooked and their signature flavor brings that homemade taste that everyone loves without the stress. Now, a nostalgic favorite passed down through generations that goes with everything from ham to turkey, like grandma's favorite baked beans or this southern beef and bean casserole with Bush's. You can turn simple recipes into comforting, shareable dishes that make entertainment easy and enjoyable all season long.
And the holidays, it's always about family, even if you are annoyed with them. What's like a time-saving way to get everyone kind of involved in the kitchen and maybe like help out?
Absolutely. You know what I love about HP? They're always figuring it out for us. It's like we think it, they do it before we even say it. So once the food is done, let's add some festive flair and keep the kids entertained while you prep. HP has a whole collection of free holiday printables that make it easy to turn your home into a winter wonderland. Now, we're talking winter bingo, DIY Christmas cards, festive banners, and even a pop-up gingerbread house board game, all free to download. I print everything on my HP Smart Tank 5101. It's super easy to use and comes with up to 2 years of ink, and HP AI makes recipes easy to read.
I love having you on the show. You always make it entertaining and always look effortless. What is one last tip to keep things festive and fun just for the holiday?
Super simple. Listen, keep it simple, but keep it special. You know, the holidays are not just about just doing. It's about enjoying time with your family and your friends. And then make sure you head over to Countdown to Delicious over on YouTube and subscribe so you can check out these recipes we have. They're like 1 to 3 minutes, super easy and fast.
Excellent. And anyone that's looking for your recipes or see more of your ideas or even more ideas elsewhere, where can they go for more details?
Yeah, so for all of these ideas here in recipes, you can head over to tipsontv.com.
Chef Tregaye, thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
A lot of veterans and military families know about VA loans, but it turns out that many aren't using them. A new report from Navy Federal Credit Union found that some common misunderstandings could be costing them major savings when it comes to buying a home. Here to help set the record straight is Chris Davis, Assistant Vice President of Residential Lending at Navy Federal Credit Union. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the program.
What did your survey reveal on how much service members and veterans really understand about VA loans?
So Navy Federal just released this new report, and it's entitled Spotlight on VA Loans. For it, we surveyed over 1,000 service members, both active duty and veterans, and we just wanted to learn more about their knowledge and their opinions on VA home loans. One of the things that we uncovered was that more than 40% of them that had a mortgage didn't use the VA. And we found out that general awareness of the VA was high, but in fact, it was 92% are aware of the program. But many held misconceptions about the benefits and the features of VA home loans. On average, there were 2 to 3 critical misconceptions that may be preventing these individuals from taking full advantage of the VA home loan program.
I'm glad you brought that up. What are some of the common myths and misconceptions that tend to hold families back from using them?
Yeah, a big one, a big misconception was around the down payment. It was common. Having to come up with a large down payment can be a big barrier to home ownership, but VA loans do not require a down payment. In our survey, 2/3 of our respondents believe that a down payment is required. We also found out that, few from this military community are seeking information from their lender. We know that it's important to work with a lender that specializes in serving the military community, one just like Navy Federal. And then also, realtors working with active duty and veterans need to have a strong understanding of VA loans. They also need to have a strong understanding of the unique needs of our military buyers.
And for anyone in the military community thinking about buying or refinancing, what advice would you share to help them get the most from these benefits?
We want to make sure if you're eligible for this program, that you understand this is designed to make home ownership more attainable. Generally, there'll be lower interest rates for the VA home loan than you would get for a conventional loan. Generally, there's more flexible underwriting. And both of those things are just going to make it easier to qualify for the loan. Once you have a VA loan, one of the great features of it is the streamlined refinance. So a VA streamlined refinance is a reduced documentation and a reduced closing cost refi. This is very important now that we are very likely in a declining interest rate market. Also, for the realtors that are out there, we offer free specialized training for real estate agents, including realtor continuing education. And then we'll connect our buyers to trained agents through the Navy Federal Realty Plus program.
A lot of great information. Where's the best place for viewers to find more information or resources?
Great. If you want to learn more about VA loans, visit any of our branches or call our toll-free contact center anytime. And everyone can get online, use the tremendous tools and resources that we have available at NavyFederal.org.
Awesome, Chris. Thank you so much for your time today. You have a good one.
Hey, V, thanks for having me on the program. Appreciate it.
Ever think about how much strength it takes for the tiniest babies to fight their way into the world? November is Prematurity Awareness Month, and it's a moment to honor those little fighters and the families and caregivers who support them every step of the way. Dr. Diana Patel is a board-certified pediatrician and mom of 2, here to help us understand why caring for premature babies is so specialized that even their diapers are made with extra intention. Have a look.
Each year, more than 360,000 babies are born too soon, representing about 10.4% of all births nationwide. For families, it's an incredibly emotional journey. Caring for premature babies is incredibly specialized, and even something as simple as a diaper has to be completely reimagined. Pampers is behind every baby, even the tiniest fighters, which is why they created the world's tiniest diaper. Pampers Swaddlers size extra, extra small, designed to provide care and comfort for the most vulnerable babies born prematurely, weighing less than 1.1 pounds. Pampers is the #1 choice of NICU professionals and the first brand to partner with NICUs and create a preemie diaper. Each diaper in Pampers Preemie collection is designed for extremely premature skin and is made with premium soft materials to help prevent abrasion of babies' underdeveloped skin. For over 25 years, Pampers has partnered with March of Dimes, a national organization dedicated to improving the health of mothers and babies. This November, during Prematurity Awareness Month, Pampers is continuing its commitment to the advancement of care for the most vulnerable babies with a donation to the March of Dimes NICU Family Support Program. This program provides education, comfort, and life-changing guidance for more than 50,000 families each year as they navigate the challenges of a newborn stay in the NICU. Visit pampers.com to learn more about how you can support preemie care with a donation to March of Dimes this month.
We're hearing more about protein lately, but do we really understand why it matters? Registered dietitian Steph Grasso is joining us with simple ways to make smarter choices that keep you full and fueled, even when life gets busy. Welcome, Steph.
Thank you so much for having me.
Steph, why has this protein become such a big focus when it comes to healthy eating?
I love that protein is absolutely having a moment right now because I recommend it with every meal. And there's a few reasons for that. So one, it stabilizes your blood sugar. So it keeps your energy levels stable throughout the day so you don't have those afternoon slumps. And two, like you just said, it keeps you feeling full longer, which is really nice. And it can prevent those, late night binges. But also on a cellular level, protein actually builds and repairs all of your cells in your body. And that includes your muscles, skin, hair, your organs, and your hormones and enzymes, So, it's so essential that it's part of our diet because it makes up our bodies.
And what are a few simple ways people can build a balanced plate with enough protein?
I focus on three things when it comes to building a balanced plate. Protein, produce, and carbs. That is a mouthful with all the P's. But protein, we want to add protein, like you said, because it makes us feeling full longer. But also it supports your muscle health. Two is produce. So that's getting your fruits and veggies, and you get fiber from that. So that can support your gut health. Also, you're getting your vitamins and minerals and antioxidants. And three is carbs, which carbs get such a bad reputation, but our bodies love carbs. It's its preferred source of energy. So, and if you have the chance, I always recommend adding a fiber-rich carb. So whether it's whole grain bread or whole grain pasta, but those are the three things I really focus when I build a balanced plate.
And for families always on the move, how can they make better choices when eating out?
So it's so nice to know that there are healthier options out there that makes healthy eating accessible, easier, convenient, and more affordable. And I actually have a menu right in front of me. This is Subway's Fresh Fit menu, which actually features 4 sandwiches. And I'll just introduce them to you. We have the grilled chicken and avocado, seasoned steak and avocado. My favorite is the turkey delight. And then we also have the turkey and ham stacker. And what's amazing about these sandwiches, all of them are under 500 calories. And they all contain at least 20 grams of protein. And of course, you can dial it up if you want to add more. And it doesn't end there. They also have 1 full serving of veggies, which is amazing, all included in a 6-inch sub. But if you order a foot long, you're getting double all that. So I'm really, it makes it less stressful knowing that we have this option available when we just don't have enough time to meal prep.
And from your perspective, what trends are you noticing in how people think about nutrition right now?
I'm noticing a shift in people's mindsets. Before, it was all about restriction and diets. There's a keto, intermittent fasting. But now people are putting a positive shift, and people are asking, well, instead of what can't I eat, what can I add to my diet to make it more balanced, whether it's more veggies for fiber, more protein to support your muscle health. So it's really just trying to, think about the overall balance of food and the functions it has towards our body. And I really like how people are starting to take this approach to nutrition and food, which develops, a healthier relationship with food as well.
And for anyone who wants to learn more, where should they go for more information?
If you want to learn more about Subway's Fresh Fit menu, you can go on their website at subway.com, or you can download their Subway app. But if you also want to learn just about nutrition, you can follow me on social media, TikTok, Instagram at Steph Grasso Dietitian.
Steph, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Lately, social media has been buzzing about a surprising trend. Metal braces are back. Teens and even adults are loving this classic look again. So what's driving the comeback, and what other options do people have when it comes to creating their best smile? Joining us today is Dr. Farah Carr, a double board certified orthodontist and one of the top Invisalign providers in the Southeast. Welcome, Dr. Carr.
Thank you for having me.
Can you start by telling us why we're seeing a resurgence in the popularity of metal braces?
Absolutely. I think a lot of it has to do with social media, honestly. I think the idea that you can pick your colors and you can personalize things is just amazing for a lot of patients. I know for me, when I had braces in the 80s, getting my colors changed on a monthly basis is what got me through my treatment. And so that plays a big part in it. Another probably, I'm assuming, could be the fact that adult patients might have a little nostalgia around having metal braces. Maybe they wanted it when they were younger and they couldn't have it. But ultimately, when our patients come to us for a consultation, you know, as a mom and as an orthodontist, I want to make sure that I'm going over the pros and cons of the tools available to us so that they're making an educated decision for their care versus relying on trends that are going to come and go.
And they've been around for decades, but are metal braces the only orthodontic choice available today?
No, they're not. So now we have Invisalign clear aligners. And what's really neat is that we're able to treat really complex issues with clear aligners, such as an overbite, severe crowding, severe spacing, a crossbite. And we can do this in a very predictable way and in a very effective way. And something else recently, the NIH, the National Institute of Health, released a study that showed that if you are in braces for, let's say, about 2 years, for the same situation, you would only be in aligners for about 18 months. So our patients are really benefiting from the fact that they're able to get the results they want faster, but also in a more comfortable way.
And could you walk us through some of the benefits of clear aligners for people exploring orthodontic treatment?
Absolutely. There are so many oral health benefits, and so much of it has to do with the fact that you can remove your aligners to properly brush and floss your teeth. So coming back to the NIH study showed that patients who were in clear aligners saw a lot less gingival bleeding, a lot less gingival inflammation, so the puffy gums, and a lot less plaque accumulation, which is so important to avoid. And so these are benefits that our aligner patients are experiencing.
And for people undergoing orthodontic treatment already, what tips can you share to help maintain the best oral health care?
Absolutely. So brushing is definitely the most important thing you could be doing, but also the amount of time you're spending brushing is so important. The gold standard is 2 minutes so that you're really contacting all the surfaces of the teeth and getting them nice and clean. The other part to this is making sure that you're getting between the teeth. That's where a lot of food particles and bacteria is trapped. So you want to be flossing. So if you're brushing and you're flossing like a boss, you are good to go.
And where can we go for more information?
Absolutely. Invisalign.com/find a doctor.
Dr. Carr, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Many women start to notice changes like mood swings, sleep problems, or even brain fog, but don't always realize it could be linked to perimenopause. It's something nearly every woman will experience, but it often catches people by surprise. Here to share what women need to know and how to better understand this stage of life is Dr. Samina Rahman, a board-certified OBGYN and menopause specialist. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you so much for having me.
What exactly is perimenopause and how early can those symptoms begin to appear?
Well, perimenopause is that transitional period of time that's leading up to your final menstrual period. And so anything after the final menstrual period is postmenopause. The perimenopausal period is marked by, erratic estrogen levels. That's really like a roller coaster ride for your estrogen, which affects almost every cell type in your body. And so women can experience a vast number of symptoms ranging from hot flashes, night sweats, to sleep disturbance, to musculoskeletal symptoms, to genitourinary symptoms, to erratic moods. And so it's a lot going on for women, and they can start experiencing them as early as age 35 or older. And so, it is something for us to be aware of so that we can get on top of it as we're trying to figure out what's happening with our bodies.
And how might these symptoms like fatigue or changes in mood affect women in their day-to-day lives?
Yeah, if you can think about what a midlife woman is carrying on her shoulders between, maybe taking care of children or parents or, working and all the things, this can actually cause a lot of distress for her personal life and relationships. It can cause problems for her health. But, Flow has actually done some internal research and found that there's a cost to productivity that happens too. On average, about $2,700 loss of productivity per woman. And that means about a $22 billion loss for the nation. And so there's that to consider on top of our personal relationships and our personal health issues.
And what advice do you have for women who are starting to recognize these symptoms but aren't sure what to do next?
Yeah, I think the first thing is awareness, right? So I always tell patients we have to be aware of what's happening with our body and educate ourselves on what's happening. And so Flow does a nice job. They launched a perimenopause mode this summer where you can actually access educational articles. And that will be something that is reviewed by over 120 medical advisors like myself. And so then when you have those articles and that information, you can actually then take that to your clinician, someone like me, and we can help navigate what's happening with you with either, lifestyle modifications, hormones, medications, all these things. So it's the first step is really awareness and education, which you can get from the Flow app.
And why do you think people still don't talk much about perimenopause, and how can we change that?
I mean, there's still a stigma around a lot of women's health issues. I think for midlife women, there's still a stigma. It's not easy to age in this country as a woman. So, I think that there's that associated with it. But the stigmas around being menopausal and not having a reproductive capacity, which is what, has always been that association. Breaking it is really, learning more about it and understanding that it's not just reproductive issues. It's a full body issue. And so this is affecting our brain. It's affecting our heart. It's affecting our bones. It's affecting our muscles. And so it's affecting our genital urinary tract. And understanding that, there are things that we can do about it and there's no need to suffer through it. So those educational platforms that we have available, there's the perimenopause risk score you can take through the Flow app. And there is help for you. So, menopause will happen to almost everyone that lives long enough for it, but you don't have to suffer through it.
And before we wrap up, where can women find more information or support to help navigate the stage?
Yeah, you can head on over to flow.health, or you can download the Flow app. For the month of October, which is Menopause Awareness Month, Flow's actually offering a free assessment for anyone over the age of 35 to kind of figure out what your perimenopause risk score is, which is really wonderful. There's a huge community on that app too. So, women know that there are other women that are experiencing the same things, that they can actually build a community and help each other out, which is really important.
Dr. Rahman, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for tuning in and checking out New Mexico Rising. If you want to be on our show, email us at newmexicorising@gmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at New Mexico Rising. That was our show, New Mexico Rising. You take care, and we'll see you next week.
Transform ordinary moments into extraordinary memories with our magical succulent bar. Whether it's a quiet moment of reflection or a first date, let the enchantment of nature enhance every occasion. Radiate positivity and create manifestations while making your very own magical succulent. Embrace the magic at Zinkstown, where we bring positivity to any occasion.